And good morning, happy Friday. Dr. Devin here with Junction Healing Arts. So, I wanted to use this comment as an opportunity to address a couple things. I appreciate the comment and the suggestion. I want to share a little bit more of why you probably won't see that on our page and is not something that we will ever put forward as far as content on here. But I also want to say that I will be in the process of getting on here and making a video on what is moxibustion, why do we use it, what it's good for, and all that good stuff. So we're going to meet in the middle on this. But I wanted to acknowledge your comment and not just dismiss it here. One of the reasons that we don't necessarily share those types of things is because truthfully, we just don't believe in everybody's ability to have access to all of these practices on their own at home. This is not intended to be gatekeeping of information and practices. They are wonderful and they are beautiful. And for the right person, they can be a really great at-home support. Something like moxibustion, it is not something for everyone. And so if we make a video about what it's good for, how to use it and do it at home, it will be a safe modality and safe practices for many, and it is potentially not helpful for so many others. And so one of the things that we try really hard to do is not feed into that culture. And it's a really hard line to try to find in balance with public social media platforms and trying to regulate that and share. And especially here on TikTok, most people are not going to end up on our treatment room. So it's not really even about driving you into our space. But Moxa can be good for a lot of people, but it is not for everyone. We feel the same way about cupping therapy. I know I've seen videos where people buy their at-home kits, or even a practitioner shares that you have access to buy at-home kits and how to do it and how to do all those things. That is not necessarily intended to be a judgment on that. It's just not something that we believe that everybody needs access to. There's a lot more that goes into assessing and making sure that the right people are getting the right modalities based on their current state of health, based on their health goals, and that these practices aren't also becoming band-aids in their own way for other care that they may need. I do not Moxa every person that comes in. I have a lot of patients that should not be getting Moxa, or if we do it in very small doses so that we can continue to monitor their possible cautions with that. And so it feels neutral in a lot of ways, but it's something that in a lot of situations you have to be careful with high blood pressure. You have to be careful with blood disorders. There's just so many different things to monitor, and that's not to say that people with high blood pressure don't get moxibustion. I have a wave of patients that it is still good and nourishing for, and it has actually helped lower their blood pressure. But one of the cautions we actually get in school is they take a hard stance with us in the beginning of anyone with high blood pressure, no Moxa. And so there's a lot of reasons for that. It's more complicated than saying high blood pressure, yes or no, and vice versa. We put a video out probably a couple months back about why we also don't share acupressure points. It's the same conversation of it is just not that simple of press this button and it equals this. Now, if I have a patient that I am working with under their care and they are a good candidate, I have absolutely sent Moxa home with patients before with a prescription of very specific points, a prescription of how many passes or how many cones to do and those types of things. But it is part of their prescription of care, not an at-home do this. And it's usually not daily. Doing more can also cause problems. So there's a sweet spot to all of that. But like I said, I appreciated the comment and I wanted to draw attention to it in a different way. I know different practitioners have different perspectives on that, but that is just how we choose to practice and where we hold lines and love engaging in these conversations. If this warrants any sort of follow-up comment, curiosity, question, I would love to continue this conversation. But it's just one of those things where I don't think it belongs at home. I think it belongs in the treatment room with a provider. they can be overseeing care. And I feel the same way about the acupuncture pressure points as well. We get into different oils and modalities. I feel that way about herbs. I feel that way about cupping. Most of the time, what patients need at home is different conversation about other practices, breathing practices, movement. What are you eating? All of those things are also very supportive to the work that we're doing in the treatment room. But the Chinese medicine, the medicine practice aspect, I think belongs in a personal relationship with a provider. And if that provider prescribes at home practices, those were meant for you based on your care and your care plan and are not necessarily things to be mass marketed, if you will. I've been enjoying getting back to like pre-rolling cones before patients. I will intend on making a video that talks a little bit more about the different forms that it comes in and why we use it and all of those things. I'm happy to educate in that aspect. But yeah, drop more questions and hope you have a great weekend and we'll keep chatting soon.